Hello and welcome to Craftiosity, the subscription box of modern craft kits. This month, enjoy a tactile and mindful craft project using natural materials and a simple construction to make a beaded hanging shelf. You can add some cosy hygge vibes by placing a battery-powered candle or a little trailing plant onto the shelf to add a beautiful accent to your home. Inside your kit, you'll find a copper ring, 9 small, 17 medium and 5 large wooden beads, a roll of cotton yarn, a yarn needle and a palm leaf tray. You'll also find your step-by-step photo instructions. Cut 4 of 3 metre long lengths of yarn from the ball. Fold each length of yarn in half, creating a loop in the middle. Attach each strand to the copper ring using a lark's head knot. To form the lark's head knot, first pass each loop under the bottom of the ring, then bring it up and over from back to front. Then pass a loop over the top of the 2 strands underneath. Pull these 2 strands up through the loop and pull to tighten. You've now formed a lark's head knot. Repeat this for the 3 other lengths of yarn until all 4 lengths are attached to the ring. You can use a little tape to tape the copper ring to your table to secure it for the next stage. Create a 5 cm long gathering knot by first cutting a new piece of yarn around 15 cm long. Fold the first 6 cm of this piece over and back on itself to create a loop at one end. Lay the loop on top of the strands of yarn attached to your ring, 5 cm below the lark's head knots. The loop should be at the bottom of the section we are about to wrap. With the loop at the bottom and the short tail end of the yarn overlapping the copper ring at the top, pick up the long tail end. Leaving the short tail end peeping out, begin to slowly wrap the yarn around all of the strands from the top towards the loop, covering up all the strands as you go. Stop wrapping just short of the loop and leave this peeping out from the wrapped section too. Insert the long tail end through the loop, then gently pull on this and the short tail end at the top. The loop should disappear inside, securing the knot. You've now formed a gathering knot. Once your gathering knot is secure, trim both the tail ends down. Separate out the strands of yarn into 4 groups of 2. Bring in the wooden beads and sort them into 4 groups. Each group should have the following in this order: 1 small wooden bead, 1 medium, 1 large, 1 medium, 1 small. Thread the needle with 2 strands, so 1 group of the yarn. Then thread with 1 grouping of the beads in the order given before. Repeat this threading, swapping your needle over each time until all 4 groups of beads are threaded. Each group should start 10 cm below the gathering knot. When your beads are even, tie a double knot underneath the bottom bead of each group to secure the beads in place. Select 8 of the medium-sized beads. Rethread the first 2 strands of yarn onto the needle. Thread on 1 medium-sized bead and place it 15 cm below the first grouping of beads. To secure this bead, bring the yarn around the outside of the bead and back down through the middle. Repeat this process 3 more times for each grouping of yarn. Pull firmly to secure and check that they are all at the same height. Separate out each of the strands of yarn like this. Ignoring the outermost strand to the right, select the second and third strands in and thread these onto the needle. Thread a medium-sized bead as you did before, securing it by threading it through twice, and place it 7.5 cm below the previous set above. Repeat twice more, each time taking 1 strand from the 2 beads on the previous row above. For the final medium-sized bead, thread the needle with the 2 outermost strands of yarn, bringing them around to meet at the front. Double thread the bead to secure it as before. You should now have 1 large, 1 medium and 1 small bead left over. Place them in the following order: large, medium, small. Thread the 3 beads onto the bottom of your hanging shelf in this order, around 7.5 centimeters below the previous row. Pass all the strands of yarn through these 3 beads, doing so 2 strands at a time, but don't knot the strands quite yet. Hang your piece from a hook. A mug hook or a curtain pole would work well, as you need it to be away from the wall. Select the square tray and insert it in between the 2 rows of the medium beads. The tray should sit with 1 row of medium beads on the lip of the tray and 1 set of medium beads underneath the tray supporting it. These medium beads will move around with a little pressure, so adjust as needed to level up your shelf. When you're happy that your beads are sitting neatly and that your tray is level, tie a double knot below the smallest bead at the bottom to secure this bottom set of 3 beads. Lastly, cut any excess yarn to create a short tassel underneath the bottom bead. Well done, your beaded shelf is complete and ready for use. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and we look forward to welcoming you to the next craft kit next month.